Okay, guys, so let's get into it. So many of you been asking about how do you get into the career for cybersecurity? What's the career pathways? What do you need to learn? There is no right and wrong answer. So much information is available. So many companies or non-profits, they offer these courses. So it's really become very challenging and difficult to make a decision, right? Because there's a huge growth demand of the skill set. So what I'm going to do is that guide you and give you the information so you can make the decision based on the situation. So depending if you have some fundamental knowledge, there may be a different pathway. If you have some few years of experience, a different pathway, and if you've been in industry for 5+ years or more, you may have to take a different route. It also depends on the knowledge and also kind of give you the idea. So I have pulled this information on the website of CompTIA. So CompTIA is putting these information. I'll also put the link on my description for these ones so you can go back and read yourself. And I have also put some videos in the past, so you may want to go and have a look. They have entry-level certification path, which is Security Plus. I have a full video review on Security Plus. Go watch it, so I'm not going to repeat it. And they're talking about their intermediate level, where they said, okay, you may have some years of experience. And there is a course around cybersecurity analyst and CompTIA pen test. So that's another where you need to have some years of experience. So they're talking about, as an analyst, the skill need to apply behavioral analytics to the network and improve the state of IT security. The certification covers tools such as packet sniffer, intrusion detection, and SIEM. So basically this is very good. I mean, when you look at, if you get to learn on the tool itself what packet sniffer they're going to use and capture on the wire, this is important. IDS concepts, if they get you and give you some hands-on, which is very good. And also the SIEM tool, very important for SOC analysts. So fundamentals, I have put a whole series of Microsoft Azure Sentinel on my YouTube, which is a SIEM tool basically, and there are many other SIEM tools, and I'm going to put another video depending when it gets published, what are the different SIEM tools available, so give you an idea. So again, I don't see how many years of experience you are required, but in order for you to have understanding or take a course like this, you have to have a basic understanding of operating system and the network, because this is what is going to be involved in this particular CompTIA cybersecurity analyst course. And the market is pretty good depending on the experience. Your first job can be anywhere from 60K to 90K easily, assuming that you have a couple of years experience. So it's still a good start in my opinion. And CompTIA Csa Security Analyst covers the skill needed by this analyst, application security analyst, threat intelligence analyst. Again, you could be working as a part of incident response team, and you will have to go to the data when you go to the logs and everything. So you should understand the data, the threats, and all that stuff. Identity and address vulnerabilities, you need to know about the vulnerabilities in the system and what's the potential threat based on those vulnerabilities. So good to know they are covering this. And then you will have to suggest preventive measures. So without knowing the knowledge of operating system and network and ports and firewall, how would you suggest, right? So that's why you need to have fundamental knowledge, and what you will learn is sounds a good combination here. And penetration testing, as I told you, I put together other videos, but penetration testing is totally different. Testing, you do pen test against web application or mobile device application, and you make sure web applications are good and targeted and ready for the production. So any company who launches an application, they need pen testers. So there's a huge growth of mobile application deployments and development. So pen tester will be required for now. In the future, I don't know, but This is good skill set, so you will be performing vulnerability scanning using appropriate tools, and the technique can analyze the results. So if an application has a bug, then you have to report them and tell them, hey, your application may be using a clear text username and password, right? So those kind of vulnerabilities you need to find, and there may be more. Advanced level cybersecurity certification, they have Casp, Security Practitioner. This is their master level, whichever. Then they require 5 to 10 years of experience in the Casp, so you should have at least 5 years of experience, and is intended for those to remain in hands-on enterprise security, incident response, and architecture. And the primary job related to security engineer and security architect, but CompTIA Caps can also be validated skill necessary for digital forensics and analysis. Okay, good. What are the skills? So basically you will be able to architect, engineer, integrate, implement secure solution across complex environment to support resilience. So again, if you have 5 years plus of experience as a network engineer, system engineer, so basically when you go for a solution like this, you are going to design engineer solutions which may need some knowledge about operating system, cluster, storage, because when you design a solution, these things, you may be using hardware and open source software, and how you have to do plan on capacity planning. Log takes a lot of storage, and you may have to enable encryption and all that. So that's why when you design a solution, this is very important. So this is something you can ignore. Some must have a skill, and that's why it makes sense you need 5 years of minimum experience here. And then you will be using monitoring techniques and detection and automation to proactively support ongoing security operations. So what happens in a SOC, basically the dashboard, and you're monitoring 24/7 alerts. If there are any alerts, if the system detects some alert, it creates those alerts. And then there's a process for incident response. Incident response itself is a practice, and then you response. And if there is some piece that can be automated, there is also that thing added, that something you may want to automate. So that's there is a good skill that they are going to teach you, which will say they will use the word validates, which is good. Apply security practice to cloud, on-prem, endpoint, mobile, which is all good. They're covering all, both on-prem and in the cloud, which is good. And some high level area I think is a consider the impact of GRC, which is good. So yeah, I mean, if you have something so with this many years of experience, that their program sounds pretty good. Of course you have to decide. Now we move to a different industry standard name other than CompTIA, which is a non-profit. Now we move to another one, which is ISACA, which I'm also CISM certified myself. One thing they have is Sscp, cybersecurity practitioner certification, and I have not taken it, but again I have their one of the top industry certification systems, so which been in this industry for so many years. But their certification is following the NIST cybersecurity framework, which is identify, protect, detect, respond, and recover. So if you can see here, this is coming from the NIST. So identify, what do you identify, what do you have to, like, say, protect and detect. So the whole framework, and this program is based on the framework. So when you identify any threat, how you going to protect it, what are the detection methodologies there, how would you want to respond it, and then recover. So this is very important framework, and this program, they are saying they will the syllabus of the program is based on that, which is pretty good. So they will validate your skills to real world cybersecurity scenario, which is good. They will share some scenario which I don't know, but again, which sounds pretty good. Signify higher level of credibility to employer organization. No doubt this certification brand name ISACA is very well known around the world. Provide credibility needed for career mobility. You can move your career in between, and this is what they have. Cybersecurity, get a boost. They have something foundation series in that. CSX for practitioner difference. So they're talking about identify business and security environment, operational security readiness. So you have to understand the business, that what it means, and protect means you're doing operational security readiness. What does it mean? The operational security readiness means about hands-on. It's about security operations. Basically, you will have to work in operations, IT operations, security operations. That's why you have to work with those teams to get those control implemented. Let's say the port is open or something, so that's like operational stuff. When it comes to detection of security, you have to threat detection evaluations. If you're talking about SIEM, you were talking about IDS, intrusion detection, and other different technologies. So what are those detection methodologies and process? So you have to apply those. So this is reactive, right? You're detecting something, there is an attack, brute force, and all that. So that's where this is coming from. Then respond and recover. How would you respond? Basically, respond and recover. How you would respond and recover? So there is incident response mechanism process. You just don't want to respond it. Every company has a process, so that's why you need to follow the process and then you respond accordingly. So that sounds pretty good. I am not able to find more details. Prepare for the exam, but the course content is there. Cybersecurity framework. So if I go and see if they are doing this cybersecurity framework and what will be done, basically, let's have a look. I may find something. I'm trying to find if they're programming based on that. What will be covered, basically, so kind of give you some more details. FAME introduction. Let's skip framework core. Yep. Identify, protect, detect, respond, recover. Okay, so again, develop the organizational understanding to manage cybersecurity risks to system, asset, data, and capabilities. Like what's the activities to identify functions are foundational for effective use of framework. Understand the business context, right? This is very important in this. You have to understand the business. You cannot just say, hey, unplug the network cable. That's not going to happen. So when you look at those, then you have to assess the risk, and risk is different based on the industry. Here it's talk about risk and risk management strategy. So a risk would be different for the HIPAA customer or HIPAA organization versus a retail company versus a manufacturing, right? So most restrictive, and so that's very important. Every company which falls into the category, they follow different frameworks. So that's why it's very important to understand and identify the nature of the business the company is doing, and you have to do the risk assessment based on that. Protect. So develop and implement appropriate safeguards. So protect, you have to have these within the function, include like access control, which could be identity and access management, for example, need to know basis, rule-based access or role-based access. We're talking about awareness of training for the employees for email phishing, security awareness training, anti-phishing, and all that stuff. You have to work on, okay, what are the data security? How would you protect the data? For example, again, identity and access management can be possible here. Encryption, information protection right here. So you have to work on that, and I'm assuming they will be doing some real scenario and tools and guidance accordingly. And you have to develop and implement activities to identify the occurrence of the security event. If the security events happens again, how would you detect? So again, you have to have those security monitoring, and then response regarding. So this response thing goes with not just you, the whole department works, and how would you respond if there is something there. And you also have to make sure something is there incident. You have to verify and validate. You just cannot say, okay, this is something have happened. So validation is very important. And then if something really have happened, then what are the process are there to recover from something that may have happened. So these are the important things. So you may want to look at this framework here I can also put the link on my YouTube description here, this one. So this is the CX, and if you take this exam, then again you can go to the next level. However, there is one more. They have, I believe, CAP is for very beginner level, and it's more of a GRC, so it will not have like operational stuff, but the governance, risk and compliance. It's more of information assurance practitioner. So again, is the way I look at it is less of a technical when we compare from other. It's like you have to make sure the policy and procedures are implemented, but again, it's another good area to grow. However, if you have experience, I would recommend Sscp. So let's take a look at Sscp. So Premier Security Administrator, in this we are talking about who earned the Sscp. Again, if you're a network security engineer, system administrator, analyst, for all these consultant, and then if you're looking for career in security, then I think it's a good exam. And it also, I believe, meet the Department of Defense requirement. That's why they have it in here. And then it can also help you to move into one of these top certification. You can, the next certification could be CISSP or one of these if you want to be an expert in CCSP, for example, and one of these. So again, for these you need at least 5 years of hands-on experience, or 5 years of experience in the field for CSP, CCSP and all that. So their requirements are written there. Or so for this one, I see, let me see if I can find more about the details about the program. If not, then I'm expecting if they have more details, which is the right for you. So they should have published some course syllabus, which I'm not able to see it, but I would still suggest you to look into that, because this sounds pretty good from the description, but without knowing the details, I cannot say much. And then you can go to the CISSP, and there are study groups. Join them, ask the question on the forums, ask other people who are taking this exam. This is another CISSP, you know, taking the CCSP September. Somebody has written, people, those who comments like question length and everything. So that's there. Now I see. So there is one more. Yeah, so this was from Sscp. So I think yeah, so now we talked about 3 programs. One is from CompTIA. They have this series. This is Sscp, another very good brand name company, and you can go look into that, and then you can go all the way up to become CISM. So they have a number of certifications. Okay, there are the requirements. You need to know working knowledge of all of these. Kibana is another open source theme, Linux, Windows security features and all that. So this is be comfortable working with radio application and all that. So that's there. Here is a tutorial regarding the layout and everything. So this is pretty good, and you will be able to demonstrate. This is what I was looking for, and this is what is going to be in the exam, that you will be able to use vulnerability assessment, obtain all these multiple information, implement specified cybersecurity control, implement document and cybersecurity control, and you should be able to identify anomalous activities, perform initial attack analysis, and execute defined response. So that's pretty good. I mean, you know, with this CSXP. So if you see, you can take either CompTIA, for example, or the way advanced one, which is not the CSA one, the CompTIA Casp. Casp Security Practitioner, or you can go with Cybersecurity Practitioner Sscp, and or you can go with not the cap is for beginners, but again you can go with Sscp. So if you do the Sscp, you can do the CSSP as your next. If you go to CSXP, you can do the CISM next, and if you go to CompTIA. So that's what I'm trying to explain. Depending what we have seen in the market, IC Square seems to be the top. People do a lot of CSSP, which they think cybersecurity more operation, because in cybersecurity there's a concept of blue team, red team, orange team, purple team. So it depends what you enjoy most. Do you enjoy most in doing the operational stuff, reactive stuff, defensive stuff? That's another area. So until you don't get into the cybersecurity itself, you would not know where your interest is. So you need to get started. But I kind of given you the idea what would you then go, because I think you have to do your homework and research based on that, which non-profit or which company or certification path you wanted to go to, whether CSSP, whether CISM, or whether the CompTIA one. But you will find, in my opinion, most of the people go toward the CSSP or CISM, pretty much, more or less. But if you want to be more operational, I think Sscp from CSSP is more operational than CISSP and CCSP one. All right, so check it out, ask the people what they're doing, and just one advice I'll give: just select one of these. Don't do one CompTIA and one CISM, one Sscp and one IC Square. Just take the membership from one of these organization, and just follow the whole straight correct path, because they are all good and there's a huge demand. So you want to just do some homework, which I'm sure you will have the most demand for the IC Square, CSSP, and all the tracks. So you cannot go wrong, and then plan accordingly. And I hope all the best, and if you like it, subscribe, share, and let me know in the comments if you like the same or similar content. Thank you and bye.